Uh, how do I? How do I should move the stage here? Hold on. How do I pull? What the heck? Oh, we have to request. You have to request. Big boss, you have to request. You have to request it. Yeah,
Powerlifting.
you have to,
Powerlifting the
Thank
bar is
you.
not powerlifting.
Caster. You have
No,
to.
I actually
In
am
order to do it,
100.
you have to
I'm 109 pounds and I deadlift
ask
255 and
to
my
be on the
squat is
stage.
225 and my bench is
No.
I can't even
95
hear
because I
you,
don't
bro.
care about my
You couldn't
bench.
even hear me?
No, I
No.
couldn't hear a word you said, and I can't
We
hear a
couldn't
word
hear
you're saying
anything
right
in the
now.
stage.
He can't hear me.
Apple juice. You lift apple
Hold on.
juice.
Uh, speak on stage.
A pro Valorant
What
player.
are you
He's
talking
Yeah,
about?
Does
he's a
it
I
really
pro
don't
not
think
Valorant
work?
player.
I'm.
Does it really not work?
What?
Why
Nah,
was
they
I
just need to
muted?
raise their hands, bro. They just
Yeah,
need
they
to
just need
raise
to
their
raise their
hands.
hands. Once you
We're
raise
not
your
even
hands,
in
you
it.
sh
What are you talking about?
Yo, big.
Can you send me an
Oh
invite or
god.
can you put me there? I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
see
I'll
where I'm
drag you.
going.
I'll drag you. I'll drag you. Just when you get in there, raise your hand.
wait.
Drag
Okay.
Hold
me.
on.
All right, go in there, Seb.
Hold on. Hold on.
Drag
I'll be
me.
back.
Hey, yo. Yeah, so Apple Juice post. Where'd
I'm
you see?
married.
Yeah, aren't you like
I'm
aren't you
married.
like ranked 700 in Radiant?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. What the flip?
It's in Valorant. Do you know what
Whoa,
Valorant is?
bro.
Yeah,
Flip
yeah,
is mentioned for my
430.
Yeah, I
list.
actually have a life. No, I don't know.
Flip is
Yeah, but that was like 4 years ago. Now he's like top 3, bro.
I don't care. I'm married.
Yeah,
I'm
that
loyal.
was
I'm
4 years
Yeah,
ago.
I'm
He's top
married.
and
3.
I'm married.
yeah,
And he literally he's like
yeah. He met Leonardo da
balling.
Vinci. Yeah.
Yo, Rick G, show the setup.
Bruh.
Like, he's balling.
He created art.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
He
Like,
paints art
art.
as well.
Rick
You know
G's
that?
got a
He created it.
$5,000
Hold
setup.
on. It's.
Yeah.
My abuela doesn't like black people.
Rick G's
Where's
not.
your abuela?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me? Anybody? There we go. Wait,
All right, big boss, raise your hand.
big boss, raise your hand. Can you not raise your hand? Can you not share? There we go.
Okay,
There
sorry.
we go.
Sorry. Is it streaming?
Yeah, I'm streaming.
Do you mind if I catch a link, or can you drop a link?
Yeah, once it's over, I'll give you the video.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I guess who wants to start, bro? He wants to join the stage here. Should we let you
Are we
win?
doing intro?
We can do intro, but it doesn't really matter to me. It is what it is. Anybody?
Okay. I mean, as
As
long
long
as
as
it's
long
just
yeah,
me
as
and
long
you
as it's
talking,
just
that's cool.
as long as it's respectful and it's like you let each other talk and whatnot for a bit, and then
Right.
each other's point, it should be totally fine.
Yeah, man. No, that's cool. You know, it's all respect, and of course we get wild, but
Oh
It's all in
yeah,
good
oh
faith,
yeah,
man.
it's all good faith. I guess start your start your premise. Why do you think?
okay. I start.
Yeah,
then?
what does
Opening.
Yeah, I guess you do your first opening. Why? I guess I would ask you, like, why does John 1:1 not necessarily prove that Jesus is not in the same essence as the Father and stuff like that? Like, that's one of my questions to you, and then I guess I can start.
Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and start off with the opening and get into that. So as everybody knows, I'm Big Boss J Castro. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and within John 1:1, I think that how Trinitarians use it to the extent how it's written, it's not saying that Jesus is God. Rather, I do think it says that Jesus is divine, or he has the same qualities as God.
Mhm.
That's
Okay.
it.
Okay, that's good. So I guess your argument would be because you don't see the qualities as the same essence of the Father, you'd say that he's just like kind of like a god, or what would be just your initial premise in a sense?
Okay, so without, if we just take John 1:1 for how it is,
Yeah.
everybody in the audience, there's 4 different cases, 5 sometimes in the Greek, in ancient Greek, Koine Greek.
Yeah.
What we get in John 1:1 is there's 2 different cases, Kai ho logos and proston theon. John 1:1b, it's the word was with the God. That's John
Okay.
1:1b. John 1:1c, and God was the word. This one is theos. This is a
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
different. This is a
You're right.
totally different case. So as you would say, he's not directly saying that the word was the Father, because Tom
Oh,
Theon
we don't. Yeah, we
in
don't
John
believe that.
1:1b.
Yeah, we don't believe.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, just to cut. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, man. I was gonna say, so as a Trinitarian as yourself,
Mhm.
you don't believe that he's the Father.
Nope.
But in my case, John 1:1c, I believe it's totally qualitative of John 1:1.
Can you expand on that, like when it comes to qualitative and stuff like that? Because it does get
So
into
I think-
nuances. It does get into nuances, whether it's like more plural. You know what I mean in that sense, like theon, like theoi or theois or whatever, or thois.
Right.
They're different
Right.
wording. It's different wording, but like, do you see like the disconnect between the word, let's say, using theon and theos, and when it comes to the plural, like, you know what I mean? I guess you kind of, getting it.
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of see what you mean. I just think within John 1:1, there's ton theon.
Yeah,
The reason why
yeah.
that's so important is if it's
Yeah.
ton theon, that would literally be connecting the God, because that one does have a definite article. It would be the God, meaning that well-known entity would literally be the God of Israel. He was with the God. The word was with the God. And then you get, the accusate, or I'm sorry, the nominative, where the subject is the sentence.
Yeah.
So with that having, you got theos. So the word was theos. Since there is no definite article, it would then be the word, in my opinion, and then, a few other translations, and even Daniel Wallace, the top Trinitarian scholar, he says this would again be but it would be qualitative. So he would have the same quality as the Father, with not being the Father.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
of course,
I understand what his argument is. Yeah, it's like in the same
Well,
essence
right,
and the
right. So-
qualities. Yeah.
Right. So of course, I think from there, you can then go ahead and insert the later philosophical framework of the Trinity. But I think
Okay.
just within John 1:1, I don't think he's saying that he has the essence, because
As the Father?
this is what I'm gonna.
He's like the
Yes,
same
just
essence as the Father, but he's not the Father, but in the same essence or nature, you would say?
no, I just think he has the quality of being a divine being. This is where
Okay.
divine would come in, or godlike. Just to
Hmm.
cross-reference this in the Greek Septuagint of Exodus 7:1,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you know it off the top of your head. God made Moses Elohim, or translation for
Yeah, but we're
God made
focusing
Moses
more on
as
John.
God.
We can focus more on John 1:1. I mean, we could, we
Okay,
could, we
I'm
could, we
just saying.
could, we could address like other points, but for now, I guess we're just addressing 1 John 1:1, just to get to start. Like we can't just run off to something else, and then we could just run off and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right. Well, I'm just saying within John 1:1, even within Exodus 7:1, the word theos, or Elohim, translated in the Greek Septuagint, is the same theos, the noun masculine singular, as theos in John 1:1. That doesn't make that Moses had the same qualities as God.
No.
Rather, rather it was just, it was he
Okay.
was just made divine. The same thing I think we see in John 1:1.
I
So
mean,
that's my
I guess.
explanation.
Okay, I got you. So here, the word was God. The word here would be kai theos and no logos, which is found in John 1:1, which KJV and all those have it. Uh, and the word was with God would be kai ho logos and bren don dithion, which would be in the John 1:1 still was with God, and the word was God. Will be the original Greek will be kai theos and no logos. So I guess for some, upon like seeing John 1:1 in the original Greek, for the very first time, it is quite natural for them to wonder what's the difference between like the theon, right, the one that you're talking about, and theos, right? It's like I guess the argument here are these two like different words, right? Completely different meanings. So basically,
Um,
we could probably get into it, but
right.
it's not like doesn't mean. So basically, since they are spelled like differently, but then they're likely to try to force us into like the conclusion that the word in John 1:1 cannot be the same nature as God as the word was with, since few know Greek, right? That seems like it makes sense to me, but think about this simple sentence. I guess here I'll give you, I guess, an example. The catcher and I were doing some practice pitches, and I hit them with the ball, right? Although it's obvious true that him is not the same word as the catcher, right? Does that mean the him is the second phrase, cannot refer to the catcher? Is the first phrase? Of course not. In English grammar, together with only the context of this sentence, points directly to the opposite conclusion. That him, even though the Greek does have pronouns like he, she, him, her, whatever, right? There are also different ways to spell the nouns where they are direct objectum must be in the accusative case, which you probably already like kind of got into, like the accusative and nominative or whatever it was. I kind of forgot, but
You're good, man.
just a little bit, yeah. And other reason there was many different ways to spell the Greek noun depending on the grammatical case. So the
Right.
singular player or singular or plural, player or player. It's kind of like that. English mostly relies upon word or order in a sentence. It is what it is.
Right. Yeah, no, I think I kind of see your where you're going. The
Yeah.
thing, like I said, I disagree with is because, John 1:1a, right? That's the
Yeah.
nominative. They're all nominative, meaning that's the subject of the sentence.
Hmm.
John 1:1b, again, Jesus, the word, is still the subject of the sentence, but the difference is it throws in the accusative. This would be the
I
direct
brought that
object
up,
of
yeah.
the sentence.
Mhm.
Like you said, right, like
Mhm.
you said.
Yeah, nominative.
So
You're right.
within
Mhm.
right. So within John 1:1, I mean, under divine inspiration, if you believe John, wrote that,
Mhm.
under divine inspiration, John had the need to separate the two. What's striking to me is we do have the definite article in ton theon that would literally translate as, in the beginning the word was with the God.
Yeah,
The God here
it's
would
accusative and singular. Yep. Used 148
right. The
times.
God here would
Mhm.
be the God of Israel. And
Yes.
then,
Yes.
and then the word was God, and that ton theos would again be nominative. But since
Hmm.
there is no since there is no definite article, it would be in the qualitative sense.
Hmm.
Which I already agree that Jesus is divine.
Hmm.
Which I mean, you agree to that too, right?
I agree. I would disagree that he is like lower than like in a sense of nature. So let's say I believe Jesus would be almighty in the same nature as the Father, but not the Father. That's my case. That's what that would be. So I do agree in that sense. It's just the lower part is like not. I guess that doesn't really fit right with me, because it can get like theo. There's like different wording for the word God in the Greek, like the exact like you just talking about the nominative, right? Singular form of Greek, where God is theos. That would be the singular, and the exact form is used 309 times in the verses of the New Testament. 261 of these occurrences in and stuff like that have the article immediately preceding it, meaning ho theos, right? And theon, the accusative singular form of God, is used about 148 times. In the article, ton theon, which I think you were talking about as well, just a little bit of. But to complete the picture, we must not also include the genitive in the dative cases of theos, right? The genitive, or theo, or theo. The genitive form of theo is used 691 times, right? The more often the
Right.
previous two forms combined. Why so many uses of genitive cases? Well, apart from like special uses of this case, the others as well. Think about how often the phrase such as the kingdom of God, right, and stuff like that, like the Son of God,
Yeah.
in the Spirit or the Holy Spirit of God, and other phrases like uses of God, like of God, and stuff like that.
Right.
The article is also used as tau theo, right? The data form as theo. They used 150 times and stuff like that, and it gets into the whole thing. So tau theo is another one. It gets into the high D. It shouldn't be noted that the article is barely included English translation, so it varies. It varies. Since we know from its
Right.
context. Hold on. The context of the scripture is about the only God who created the universe. So there are usually no need for translators and stuff like that. So I guess you wanna go. Hold on, I'll be back. Hold on, but you can go.
Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna wait till he's done
Yeah,
or when he comes back.
yeah, it is. It is 7, so I would be having.
Okay. Am
Yeah.
I good to start speaking?
You can speak, but I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. I'll just wait for you, man.
And entertainment wise, Yakovitz or anybody want to join the stage, just for a bit? You can talk with Big Boss or creator of White People. So raise your hands quickly. All right, Yuet wants to join. Yuet wants to join.
You
Yuet,
Yuet,
there we
yeah.
go. I'll be back in a bit. You guys can, I guess, talk.
All right, bro. Take it easy, man.
Alright, so
What's up, Joy?
unfortunately, I'm not gonna be saying the N word this time around, but it's whatever. So, we're just chilling right now. I'm trying to hook up my friend Racy with this Apple girl, but she's low key not into it. And I need some advice from you, Big Boss.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear a word you said, man. You go ahead. You're gonna have to speak again.
Yeah, Big Boss. I'm just trying to help my friend Racy here to get this girl, and I want you to give us some advice, like with that Riz.
The only advice I can give, man, is seek the kingdom of God first, and then all things will be added.
That's true. But someone else also told me I don't know. It was like some random person on the beach. They told me don't take no for an answer.
Don't take
Would you
no
say
for
that's
an
like valid
answer.
advice?
I don't think so. I think you should probably respect someone's boundaries of no, man. That's just me though. I mean, we're all different.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
just you, of course. Like, we can have our own personal opinions and stuff. I mean, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm unk age, bro. So I'm giving you old school advice.
Yeah.
All I know is you new generation kids are different from us old school people.
I mean, like, that's the only advice I really got from anyone. Just like, don't take no for an answer. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, what if she tells him no?
Then we don't take no for an answer.
Is you gonna keep bothering and bothering and bothering her
Of
till
course,
she says yeah?
we don't take no for an answer around here.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing with age. Like, age is really just a number at the end of the day. That's why you could be Christian and affirm Muhammad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, jail is just a place. You ever heard that?
Yeah, of course. Jail is just a
Yeah.
place.
And that's why we just
yeah.
invite Michael into the Trinity, because he's
Yeah,
Jesus.
of course. Well, it's a quadrinity, really.
Yeah, most people don't really know about this. This is like secret universe, forbidden knowledge.
I'm from Nigeria.
I'm from like the opposite north side of that.
I was just gonna say real quick, Yakovitz. I know we're planning for a debate. Um, I'm always down though to have a different place of debate on a neutral standpoint or platform. So just putting that out there. He's raising his hand, bro. Let him up here.
In
Shalom,
all
Yakovitz.
fairness, I thought today was the debate. I really did. I thought it was 2 weeks. I thought you were busy last Sunday, and it was today, this Sunday.
No. I should have texted you. I wanted to talk with you a little bit more, but Kirby already said he wanted to
No,
debate.
that means you lost. I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you in my
guess
crosshairs next, bro. Don't worry.
Crosshair is next. No, bro. You're like the Biden assassin. What a myth. Anyway, I'm like that turkey dude. I don't even have to try aiming. Bro's a real dude. Yeah. Next 3 weeks of my job's just crazy busy, but I'm sure the Sunday afternoons will be a little bit more chill. So
I mean, you're
guess I'm
good,
not
man. If
gonna
you need to
debate
take
on
those 3
Sabbath.
weeks, take those 3 weeks, bro. I mean, it gives me more time to undo and actually look up. Because I
No, I'm
mean,
kidding, yeah.
with John 1:1, man. I mean, it's in all due respect, it's pretty easy, but going into what me and you are dealing with, especially with knowing your stuff, I'd rather just have more of a time to study.
Yeah, Mr. Sheilak Malak. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that Sheilak
I knew
Malak
what
is
you were.
going to prove you
I
wrong
knew
next
what you were
week.
saying. I knew what you were
Right.
saying, but I was trying. I was
Come
like,
on,
I
bro.
totally
You know
get
I'm
what
a
you're trying to
Gentile,
say.
man. Put me some slack. I'm a Gentile,
Yeah,
bro.
I just want you to go around saying something that if people are, huh? But I know what you mean. I do.
Right. Sebi, are you ready or what's up, man? Guessing not.
Bro, Sebi's a firefighter. You gotta give him a second. He might be responding to a fire.
Well, that's probably bad. You probably picked the bad day to debate thing because it's
No,
kind of
I'm
wasting
kidding.
my time.
He's not a firefighter. What else you do, Castro? You a ranch hand? Oh, you're a plumber.
Plumber.
You gotta
just
work on
general
you gotta
maintenance
work on
and,
them
yeah.
you gotta work on mooning your clients Do you practice for that? Do you practice on your pants sagging and showing off a butt crack when you work on something plumbing? Like, is that industry standard? How many reps do you do a day?
Man, my reps. Us plumbers don't have reps, bro. Come on. We just walk around changing out faucets and doing easy stuff and sagging our pants. And I already got to bust out the crack, bro.
Oh,
It's plumber standard, man.
yeah. Yeah. Why is it always the nastiest people when it's their crack showing? Ugh.
Well, bro, I don't think there's ever a good person. who
Nah,
wants to
there's
see their
no
crack.
good person with a crack. I mean, unless it's like Margot Robbie or something like that. But
But yeah, Yegovich, I mean, hopefully it goes better than this because this is kind of sucky, man.
nah, bro. I'll bring easy 15 people, and they're
I
gonna
mean,
be
bro,
chanting
if
in
you want,
silence
we
of
can
the
have a
audience.
neutral, right? We can have a neutral platform over here on my server or just another server than this one, and like I say, I can have it moderated and viewed and have it live streamed and all that, man.
You're a live stream. Yeah, I mean, so whatever, as long as the other guys are able to watch and stuff. But yeah.
By any chance, do you know an alternate media, the Messianic Jews?
No, I don't talk to Messianic Jews.
Okay, but you talk to Trinitarians though, right?
I'll talk to people who say they're Christian. I think you're either
Oh, okay.
Christian or Jewish. I think Messianic Jew is just weird. You gotta choose to go one way or the other. You can't just sit in the middle. Does that
You
make
know
sense?
what? This is probably the only point me and you are ever going to agree on anything, Yakovitz.
Yeah, it's weird as heck. I mean, like I said, I'm not Messianic Jew. I don't believe Jesus is Messiah or God or anything like that. So
I'm just gonna say if he's not here within 10 minutes, I think I'm gonna just call it a night, man. And you can just have this win.
I think Adam Sandler might be it.
He might be
Jew
a
I,
Messianic Jew.
That's the Jew I aspire to be, in all honesty.
Who but by any chance, do you listen to Tobias Singer?
Not
Or-
really. I'm not a big fan of some of his arguments, but I've watched. Some people have sent me his stuff. I'm not
I
really
actually like him. He's
huge.
all right.
I'm actually, believe it or not huge into a lot of theological debates and stuff like that. Especially listening. I mean,
If
there's
you
only
don't
one
mind-
guy.
Right. I was gonna say, if you don't mind, do you practice Judaism?
I do.
You do? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Do my
Is it
prayers when I
Orthodox?
rise. I do prayers when I
Reform?
sleep. I go to
Okay.
synagogue. I'm
Alright.
conservative. I go to synagogue.
All right. Sorry, I was
bad.
eating. Sorry it took a long time.
Okay. You're good, man.
Yeah, he was talking
Alright, get out
mad
of here,
crap about
Yakovitch.
you.
Get out of here.
Oh, no,
How
I
did
was-
hear
I was
you,
saying-
you dirty Gentile.
Yakovitch.
Alright, I'm leaving.
All
I'll leave
right.
on my own accord.
He leave on his own accord.
All right, you get out of here, bro.
Also, by the way, end of times, I will show the sources as well. So just so I don't oh, where are you getting this stuff, In the stream, I'll
Hey,
show
buddy,
you.
what do you think you are telling me to get out of here?
You also
Let
need
me
to
get
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 out of here, bro.
out of here. Get these guys out of here. Anyways,
All right.
yeah, I will provide the guess the source that I got it from, and yeah. So it's not like it's
No,
not.
I mean,
so it's not.
so
So, it's
far,
not
I
this.
mean-
So it's not like dishonest, and I'm like, where are you getting this stuff and stuff? You just liar,
Right.
liar.
So far, I know what you're talking about, and so far you're on point, man. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm agreeing with you. You actually do know your Greek, so
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, we're on par.
Oh yeah.
If you don't mind me asking you just a quick question within within your theological right. So within John 1:1, just John 1:1.
Yeah.
Who was the God? Who was the God word the word was with?
Well, he was the. What I mean, obviously, will be the Father. Yeah, there's really no
Okay.
other. Yeah, that in our view, in Trinitarian view, it would be the Father who the Word was with. Hmm.
Okay. And with that knowledge, and if he was God, how many gods are in John 1:1?
Well, we can look at the I guess the word theon will be, and theon will be the Word was with God, and the Word was
Mhm.
God, right? That means we see not separate beings here. We see, I guess, two persons in the same divine nature, as we see, because I already established that the the word the word was with the Father, and the word is God, but not the Father. And I guess that would be my view on it.
Right. So I mean, with that, man, and like I said, I agree with it being qualitative.
Mm.
With that, just right now, I mean, I think a more straightforward, if you were to read it, you would get the word was divine if it's in qualitative. A more straightforward
Mm.
word would be divine. Um,
Yeah.
you know, in case of like I use Exodus 7, you'd get Elohim,
Mhm.
right? I mean, in that case, I think it would be qualitative. I know,
Mhm.
but in either way, the word God there, we all know that when the word Elohim is used, it's not referring to the God of Israel. It's the same case with John 1:1.
Well, we could also look in we could say there's nominative. Here's the case of, there's a nominative, accusative, and genitive, and dative, and vocative. Those are the
Mhm.
ones that are in I guess that's how they're in the case. So basically, the first for nominative, we see ha theos and ha theos,
Right.
and in the plural will be hoi or hoi theoi or theoi. I can't spell. I can read that. And there will be the accusative, which would be ton theon. That would be ton theon. And then the plural for accusative will be tos theos. That would be plural for just or God or God, just God or just little g God. Ton the or would be
Right.
the ton theon. And then dative, which would be ta theo, or toa or tois theois or whatever. It's hard to. And then there's a vocative. It's just the. That would be the vocative. So basically, in I guess in John 10:34 we find in John 10:34 we find theoi, gods. In verse 35, theos, gods. But both of these occurrences are references to humans in the context, right? It appears Jesus will be quoting from Psalm 82, and goes back to that thing like ye are gods and stuff like that. The word theoi or theoi for God, which begins with the phrase, literally said, "Gods you are." That would be the more literal sound of what Jesus was saying in John 10. But we're sticking. That would be more of I guess, an example of the word usage, which we kind of relate to John 1. So, let's say when the word let's say when the word was figuratively applied to those acting as judges in Israel, which would be explaining what John 82 was and stuff like that.
But in
So
any case, though, this is not referring to the God of Israel,
no,
right?
no, 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 no. This is plural. This will
Okay.
be this. Yeah, theoi is gods.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
this is plural. Yes. Um, and in
And that
occurrences,
would be the same with John 1:1, though.
no, because there's a different word. There's a different word here because theoi it would be the plural, and ta theos is just like referring to just singular. So essentially,
Right.
contains so here in Acts 7:40 contains the only other occurrence of the word theos or theois or theos. It literally just means like idols and gods. Like just so this is talking about
Right.
yeah.
Right. I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So NRK in ho logos, that's the word, that's
The
a
word.
nominative.
Yeah.
Kai ho logos and pros ton theon. Pros ton theon, that would have the definite article for
Mm.
the God.
Mm.
So we're agreeing there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
me
Yeah, yeah.
and you agree.
Mhm.
And you think Kai Theos and Hologos, John 1:1c,
Hmm.
with it being in a nominative and that one being an accusative,
Hmm.
and since it's in a nominative and since it's, I believe, the subject, right? It since it's already closely associated with the God of Israel, and it's in a nominative, with that
Mhm.
being the like I said, the subject, it would then
Yeah.
be the qualitative form. So
Hmm.
you would have the word was God, or the word was deity, the word was divine in a qualitative sense, showing what the Father has. So I think me and you could agree there, but I think from there is when we would have to say, well, I
What
think
does it
from
mean?
from this point.
What does it mean between, I guess, the singular, like the singular and plural, like whether the word plural for gods or a god, or mostly the plural word for divine or whatever is
Hmm?
used in John 1:1. So like let's say here, in one particular usage of theos, which is or theos, which is this nominative, like the nominative in singular form shows how
Right.
important the context of a passage can be. So here's an example, um Philippians 3:19, Paul actually uses the word hotheos to speak of one's hunger controlling them like a god. Who's God? Hotheos is their appetite, right? So kolia, which is, yeah. So there was an example where theos, even with the article, is used only figuratively of the human appetite, calling it a god in that sense. Kind of like if you're stuck in sin, and that kind of makes you a slave to that specific thing, right? So that would be one
Right,
thing.
but I think honestly a better and more understanding where you can definitely see you would get a God or divine or some type of quality is, like I
Yeah.
said before, Exodus 7:1. I mean, we have the God of Israel making Moses an Elohim.
Hmm.
It's there's no like, there's no as. It's just said he made Moses Elohim. All
Hmm.
of us understand that for it to be qualitative, and every translation would
That would be
literally translate.
I would say that's more, I don't know, that seems more accusative, because it's like I made you, I guess,
It
I made you God to
it's in
Pharaoh,
the
or made you
nominative
God to,
case,
I guess
it's
that's
it's in the nominative case singular. It's the same nominative case singular as Theos and John 1:1c. It's the
hmm.
exact same thing. Yeah, it's literally nominative. Yeah, nominative singular, masculine singular. It's the exact same thing. And just with that, right? We both understand he's not the
Hmm.
God of Israel, but he
No.
made him divine or made him like God. So I think we would agree here. Even we have our differences. I
Yes.
think we would then have to go into where you believe he's fully man and fully God, right?
Yeah.
I think then that would be the subject of the debate because it seems
Yeah.
like me and you are basically kind of agreeing. To
Uh
be honest, just from my standpoint.
well, here, like let's say, well, I would disagree that I guess the word in, because here, for example, like now looking at the Gospel of John, we find Theos like 15 times in the Gospel of John, in 14 verses, all referring to the God of Israel. So you got John 3:2, and then it just goes on 3:3. To get the point. You get the point.
Right.
And without the article, only 3 times in John 1:1. So that would be the same word, Theos. The total of 18 times in Theos in John, or Theon, are in John 1:1 and 2, and then it goes on, right? And a total of 13 occurrences. And the first occurrences of God in the Gospel of John 1:1-2 and John 13:3, we find the phrases pros ton theon. Pros ton theon speaks the word of being with God. In figurative, not physical, or figurative, not physical, sense of facing towards
Right.
him, with being a close relationship with him, which we would assume that the person of the Father, or both the Father and Spirit, in other verses, pros is often translated as to or towards, as it is in John 13:3. So basically,
Right.
the word will be aputhau exalten kai pros ton theon hubakai, or hubagay, or going back to God, or after having come from Him. So John 18 in ESV reads, "No one has ever seen God, only God who is at the Father's side. Who only God has at the Father's side. He made Him known." On the Greek, this is Theon Hudis Horikin. It is really hard to pronounce. Monogenes Theos. Ho on Tython
Yeah.
Kopen to Petros Exina exegato, which NET Bible translate as, no one has ever seen God, the only one himself God, who is the closest relationship with the Father, has made God known. Note, the KJV and the Byzantine manuscripts, its New Testament translations are based upon, have the word son instead of God. So following the meaning,
Right.
yeah,
And I would
yeah,
agree.
yeah, following the word monogenes, but this makes no difference for those who are attempting to label the word as only a God. Instead, one of those who have the same exact nature as God the Father, since the New Testament Greek text for this verse is exactly the same as the one used in the ESV and NAT and many others. This is a rather complex verse for those who only know English. So theon is the first word in the verse and is without the article. But instead, of translating as a God, the context, which includes the bosom of the Father, KJV and KJV, ASV and ASB, are who is the Father's side, or who is at the Father's side, or who is in the closest relationship with the Father. Oton kopion to Petros in the Greek. And the very same verse makes it clear that the theon here refers to the God of Israel. It is in the accusative case because it is in a direct object to the verb horikin. The indicative perfect active or third person singular form of the word herok or to see or hudis or no one. The subject, likewise, monogenes, theos, is the context of this verse that is the first chapter of the John. And this whole book is not an a or an God, but rather the only begotten, the only God. As the verses in 1:1 and 2, which we already covered. I don't think you want to go through that all again. First, it's important to point out that the lexicon is not God breathed or theopneustes, which is it gets real deep. So
Right.
that will be
and
yeah.
like
It gets
I said, I
it gets real.
understand it.
Yeah. It gets real deep. But I guess that will be my overview. That the word I guess in John 1 there in the context is not talking about or a God or translated as a God in context. It will be the God or the only begotten God, which literally would mean the God of Israel. Yeah, in that context.
Are you saying so? You're saying a better translation would be in John 1:1c would be Ton Theos or Ton Theon,
Ton Theon,
as the God of Israel.
As the God of Israel, yeah, because we
So
understand.
you're saying John 1:1c should be the God of Israel.
No, that will be in the the context of what John was trying to say. So essentially here,
But you see, that my thing is, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
my
yeah.
thing is, that's not what's going on, though. I mean, under divine inspiration, again, he separates the two, one with an accusative, and that one
Yeah.
literally has that one, like you said, it literally has the definite article. It's the God. That would be the God of Israel.
Yes, you agree.
Then
We agree on
Kai
that.
Theos and Ho Logos.
Mm-hmm.
With
That
it
means-
being nominative and it being in close relation of the
Yup.
Father, like you said, that again would be qualitative in John 1:1. Since there's two different cases, I don't see why you would want to put the two as the God of Israel when John separates the two. He separates Theos, not the God of Israel, rather it's in the qualitative sense. That was the whole argument.
Which you would agree, like in the accusative case, because it would be like a indicative perfect active, right? You mean singular form? Like so, like
no, I mean just
in the context in the chapter of John, like we see like in Theos, which is singular, not it wouldn't be. It will like I guess you would agree that it's talking about the God of Israel, and God was, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, in the same thing in the singular, always including as the God of Israel in that sense, because it would be in the accusative. Because that will be that theon. Yeah, it will be clear that theon here refers. So there will be the theos or theon. Theon will be
in Hologos and proston theon.
Yeah.
With the ton theon, that's the definite article. Ton theon would be the God.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in John 1:1c, Kai Theos and Hologos.
Yep.
It's not saying that the word was the God of Israel, but it's in a qualitative sense. Daniel
Can-
Wallace, Bart
why would-
Ehrman, they all
yeah.
would agree to this.
In the
So
equalitative sense.
Yeah, so in my opinion, like Dan McClellan, he's also a good scholar.
Mhm.
As he said before, with it being in the qualitative sense, that's also from Daniel Wallace. I think a better word would be, and the word was divine.
Mhm.
That's as best as you can be with it being in the qualitative sense.
Mhm.
With it, not since he's not the God of Israel, but rather he's in a qualitative sense, has the qualities
Mm.
of the God of Israel. That's what you get. And this is why I cross-referenced Exodus 7:1, where it's
Mm.
literally in the same case, nominative, noun, masculine, singular, theos. The
Yeah.
same theos as in, John 1:1. It's literally the exact same setup. He's not the God of Israel, but he is a God. Literally the quality, a God.
That would be
give him divine.
that would be in the nominative theos, right? Singular.
In Exodus 7:1.
Oh no, I'm I guess addressing John 1:1,
Oh.
and I guess relating to that, but I guess addressing John 1:1, you would say that it is plural. You would say it's plural. It's not, or is it singular but not referencing God of Israel? Is that basically you're saying?
Yeah, so basically all I'm saying is, John 1:1b, it makes a definite article, ton theon. That's a whole
Yes.
different case.
Or
The God, it's in
theos or ton theons. That would be that's accusative. Ton theon is accusative.
right. It's literally accusative. The noun, it's accusative, masculine, singular.
Mhm.
Ton theon, the God
Mhm.
of Israel. We
Mhm.
both would relate this as a father. John 1:1c, Kai theos and ho logos.
Yes.
And the word was God. That's
hmm
in the nominative, literally the same
The word
nominative,
was
nominative
yeah.
singular.
You could see here.
Right. It's in noun, nominative, masculine, singular.
Yeah, pros
And that
ton
would literally
theon.
be
Yeah, meaning
right.
yeah,
That
pros ton theon
would
will be
be
that speaks of the word as being with God in a figurative, not physical. So like yeah.
right. So he wouldn't be the God of Israel. Rather, he would have the qualitative possession
But we
of
could
the
say
God of Israel.
I would that's where we get this disconnect because I mean the word was with
Mhm.
God and the word was God. Theon, that would be the singular, right? So it's a complex verse.
No,
and
it's theos. The word was theos.
the word was theos.
What the Greek is. It's theos or theos. In the
Oh
Greek, it's always going to be
Theos, yeah, Kai Theos and no logos, yeah.
Right, and
yeah.
that's in the qualitative form since, John 1:1b has already got the,
That
since
whole
it's literally
Theos is
that direct
nominative,
object.
it's nominative, not the qualitative. It's nominative. Whole Theos
Right,
is
but it's in the
nominative.
qualitative sense of John 1:1 though. That's what I'm saying. Since it's the noun, masculine, singular, and the
Yeah.
predicate comes before, it would be in a qualitative sense since theon already has a definite article. So it's in a qualitative sense. That's why, JWs would put the word was a God because he has what the Father has, but it's in a qualitative sense. He's not the Father, which is what you would agree. Another translation would literally be the word was divine, the word was deity. We can see this and know this one is the truth because in Exodus 7:1, as I used before, the same word theos and a noun, nominative,
If it's
masculine, singular
yeah,
is still used.
same. So like the point being made is that the
In the
logos.
qualitative sense, by the way.
Yeah. I guess the grammatical I guess you would take the grammatical structure of the Greek does not identify the word as person of God, but indicates a qualitative sense. The point being made is that the logos is of the same nature or essence as God the Father. That would be more of a qualitative. I mean, because you're saying,
right.
You're
Yeah,
saying,
and
that
that's
means-
what I would agree to.
Yeah. So essentially, the qualitative sense will be meaning, the word is in the same essence as God the Father. That will be a qualitative. That will be the sense of a qualitative. So here, singular form Greek is theos.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, I think, but I think our disconnect there would be, you think he's the actual God of Israel.
Well,
don't
I
think
would
he's
say
the actual God of Israel.
yeah. That's where we get the disconnect from. I
Right.
say, because in a qualitative sense, I mean, you were talking about a qualitative sense in a singular. That would mean that the word is in the same essence as, or the logos, I would say, is in the same essence as the Father, which you would agree, which you said you agreed to. So, I mean,
Sure, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
sure. He's
yeah.
qualitative.
Yeah,
he got the same qualities.
A qualitative will be in the quality, but we could go on and on, and that is it gets real deep. But I would say,
Right, but the thing is also just real fast. We can see this because I know that the standard
yeah, yeah.
Trinitarian and putting it into
You
the
you
Godhead,
probably
but
yeah
the
you
thing
know
is,
you know I guess the
yeah, I was gonna
argument.
say
Yeah,
that
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah.
yeah
I'm
the
just pointing
thing
out
is
the
though we can
qualitative.
see
It's fine. It's all good.
right. I was gonna say within Exodus 7:1 we have the same qualitative sense where it's used with Moses and he's literally in the same
That would
noun
be
masculine nominative singular.
that would mean no. That would be more that would be more accusative because if in the qualitative,
It's not accusative though. That's the
why is
thing. It's
why would it not
literally
be?
in a nominative.
It's
Because it's
nominative.
literally in the
Nominative.
Greek.
Ha
In the
theos.
Greek, it's literally the nominative masculine singular. It's not the accusative. It's not the God or ton theon. It's not the God. He was, he made him
Yeah,
the
yeah.
God.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
that would
No,
make
no,
him
no,
the
no.
God of Israel.
No, no,
Instead, it
no.
made him the
I agree.
qualities
I
of
agree.
the God of Israel.
I'm just saying the
Right. So
in the
you
qualitative sense in John 1:1,
right
and the
because
context will be that the word is in the same essence of the Father. That will be it will be equalative, or whatever
right
you
in the
said.
same way in Exodus 7:1, God makes Moses
Like God, yeah,
he
yeah,
makes him
or not
literally
like God, or
divine or godlike.
godlike, yeah, 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 to Pharaoh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
we
I
can see
agree,
this as we see this in the same thing as John 1:1. And
yeah.
I know you wouldn't include Moses in the Trinity.
No,
So
no, no,
this is
absolutely
I
not,
think
because
that we would
there's
totally
context
go
to it.
into
Yeah, that would be like it goes back to context, right? So one could say, since in the qualitative sense in John 1:1, it's speaking of the word, of the logos. So since it's talking about the
right.
logos, and if you're saying it's in a qualitative sense, it would mean that the logos, and it's the same since he was with God and he and he is and was God. That would mean that in a qualitative sense, he would be in the same essence as the Father in that sense. We're not talking about two gods. We're talking about two persons of the same nature in that sense. But that's where we disconnect because
Right. Then you would have to treat Exodus 7:1 the same way because this is
no,
literally
not
the same
necessarily. Not
thing.
according to the no, I guess no. That will go back to context. So then context will be in Exodus will be made you God like like Pharaoh. In context, it's
He had to
because he
ask
was
for it,
doing
right?
he was a leader in the same thing in Psalm 98. Ye are gods, and you
Right.
thou shalt
He
die
had
like
to
men,
ask for it,
and stuff
right?
like that. So I guess there's a
Yeah,
disconnect.
he had to ask for it. He had to ask to be made God, or he had to be exalted, right?
Exalted in high leadership stance type of made you God like Pharaoh. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
It's in the
but in not
qualitative though. It's literally in the same qualitative form as the noun masculine singular nominative of John 1:1.
okay. Hold on,
The-
yeah, just hold on, hold on.
You can go ahead. You can go look it up. It's in the Greek Septuagint. Exodus 7:1. And my thing is right. Just real fast, just to add on to the point.
Yeah.
If that's the case, Jesus also he had to ask for his full glory or divine nature. In John 17:5, he had to ask for it. He didn't have it while he was a man.
Okay, hold on.
And then the thing we would then go into, well, did John think he was? It'll just lead into anything else. I'm just John 1:1.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But we kind of seem to agree basically. Almost.
Almost. I still say that Jesus is the God of
Right.
Israel. The word was God. Theon. Okay, okay. Here I'm looking at the Greek as a God would be Theon, right? But in John 1:1, here, hold on. Let me get it back. The word here is kai theos, not Theon.
Okay, let me go look it up just one more time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. So the word here is theon. Yes, I agree. It is in the Septuagint as a god. I made you as a god to Pharaoh. Says theon, accusative, singular, masculine. But I'm not seeing the qualitative part here. It says noun. It will be a noun, accusative, as a god, meaning the accusative will be I made you as a god. I made you as a god to Pharaoh and Aaron. So I made you God to Pharaoh and Aaron and your brother. So The word here is theon, but the word was God in John 1. John 1:1 is word kai theos in whole logos, not theon.
Right,
it's
but
theos.
in both cases, right?
Mhm.
They're not being identified as the God of Israel.
Well, one is here in Exodus. The
Well,
word theon is a god. As a god, theon is as accusative. That means a god in a sense of like leadership and high standing and stuff to Pharaoh, because God literally accusative form of a god to Pharaoh. But in John 1:1, we see that it is not the accusative. It is the word. Actually, there would be more accusative, but the word was God. The word kai theos is han ho logos is the word, and that would be in the KJV, ESV, NAU, and ASV.
Right, but he's not the proston theon is the thing though. He's just in the qualitative sense.
No,
is all it is, right?
Yeah, it's the word was with God will be kai ho logos and proston theon. That would be the
Right,
word.
and
The word was with
that's
God and the
all I'm
word was
arguing.
God. That means kai theos is hon logos. I mean, there's a difference between what's happening in Exodus 1, which was theon, which was a God, while here in the Greek here, where it says the word was God, is theos, and then here ton theon, in John 1:1, kai ho logos,
But
and
in both cases, it's distinguishing the two though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
You
I
got
agree.
two
I
different
agree. I agree.
cases.
There's exactly.
Right.
I
so if
agree
have
with you
two
there.
different cases,
I agree with you there. There's a two
right. So if
different.
you have two different cases,
There's
one
this is
literally
different
can't
case.
be the God of Israel twice.
Exactly. That's why
That's
the
the
word theon
thing.
is found in the Septuagint. They found as a god to
And
Pharaoh.
in
Theon.
John 1:1,
No,
that's
because
the
the
thing
word
too.
is
You have two different.
The word is
You have two
theos. Is
different
ton.
cases though.
Yeah, ton theos and ton theon. Kai has logos, or the word was with God. Ton theon
There is no
would be
ton
with God.
theos. It's just kai theos. That's the thing.
No, kai. That will be in word. That will be if you were to say in the word was God. That's the only kai theos. But the full, I guess no. Actually, prior is the word was with God. That would be prior. That's kai ho logos and preston theon, and then the word was God
Right.
and
Ton
kai.
theon though is what I'm focusing on.
Yeah, that will
Ton
be
theon
ton
is
theon.
God.
Ton theon was with
Oh.
God. Ton theon. Well, here
Right.
in Exodus 1, the word here it just theon. It never says ton theon here in this one. In this part of here, it just says theon. I say God or theon in the Greek Septuagint.
Right. It's not the God of Israel because it doesn't
Right.
use a definite article. That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Well,
So I'm saying within John 1:1, you can't have you have two different articles. I'm sorry, two different cases. In one case, you cannot make it say that the theos is the theon because that's not what it's saying. It's saying qualitatively.
right.
It is what it is,
Okay.
and then
yeah.
you would have to then and
That would be
use
the
your
qualitative.
Trinitarian beliefs.
The qualitative would be in the same essence of the Father. Kai ho logos and proston theon.
Right.
I guess we went
right,
all
which
we
is
went
a whole
all over.
different debate.
Yeah. We went
Yeah.
all over the place. But the difference between I guess the theon and theos are these basically like I guess the argument would be they're two completely different things, right? Theon and ton theon, or just
Yeah,
theon or
I
theos.
think there's two different cases. There's two different
Okay.
cases, and there's two different gods. It's not the same pantheon within that's in John 1:1. You have a different God within John 1:1. Then I think we would go
Not-
into a different debate, which was set up for another time. I would
Yeah.
honestly
I think for now we probably leave it at this. But there's one point that I
But
guess
yeah, we kind of agree, honestly.
we agree in that sense that ton theon, I guess kai theos in whole logos, the word was God. In that sense, and the word
It's
was God and ton
qualitative, yes.
qualitative will be in the same essence. Yeah, there will be word being in the same essence of the Father. A qualitative, kai theos. But I guess we can have
Right.
the other point. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is that the qualitative point is what you brought up, and also kai theos in the Exodus 7:1, where it says theon, ton theon, where the ton theon is not found there. But in Exodus it is found. The ton theon is not found there, but it is in John 1:1. I guess I will say that the Word was in the same essence of the Father, and He was with the Father. But I guess that's for another time. God bless you for having the time to debate.
It was actually nice talking to you, man. We have
Yeah.
to do this again.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it. God bless you. I think we can probably have
Yeah,
another setup
part
debate.
two, bro. Part two.
Part
You gotta
two!
Get it out. Part
Gotta
two.
get it out part two. Yeah.
Take care, man. It was
Yeah.
really good
God
talking
bless.
to you, man.
Yeah. God bless. God bless.